You don't want any of Granny's old boring chicken and dumplings? Let's supercharge them. Let's get cooking. Okay, so the first step in supercharging Granny's chicken and dumplings is you need chicken stock. Now, you can just use this stuff right here. It'll be fine. But this isn't supercharged. We're gonna make this better. Now, I've got unsalted chicken broth, and we're gonna add to it. What we're gonna start with is some rosemary. Come on, Rosie, get on in there. Oregano. It's gonna be smelling like an Italian bistro in here pretty quick. Thyme. I love thyme. It's just so fragrant. Adds so much richness to everything. And then, of course, we got some sage. We're gonna go ahead and throw that in there right now. We're also gonna add some peppercorns. Measure carefully. Just very carefully. You need exactly 12 of these little suckers. Not too many and you'll ruin it. Measure carefully. We're gonna add some carrots. Gonna give the broth some yummy richness. Throw those in there. That's 2 pounds. I'm used to cooking for an army. That's why I got such a big pot. Now, our next ingredient, leeks. Let's talk about them before I put them in. Okay, so the first thing you want to do with the leek, we want to get rid of the green stuff. Now, this is really bitter, and it's not a good addition to your stock. So we're just throwing that in the trash there, and we want all of this. Now, the root's still there. We're going to leave it for now. We're going to cut this lengthwise, and we're going to cut it into smaller pieces. They don't have to be too fancy or big, because we're not going to be eating this later on. And now, there goes the roots. We're going to throw them over in the colander over here. Okay, so now we got our leeks all cut up. We got them in the colander, and you kind of want to separate them a little bit. The reason being, accidentally got a root in there. We don't want that. The reason why you want to rinse these is they tend to have sand and dirt in them, and you don't want that going into your good chicken stock. So we're just going to hit it real quick. Now the last thing we're going to put in is our leeks here. We'll put those in. There you go. We want to get all of that. Well, this isn't the last thing. Almost to the last thing. Now, if you've been doing things right, you have saved up these old chicken parts. When you cut up a chicken, the parts that you don't use, the back, the wings if you don't like eating them, yeah, you saved them. We're going to put that right in there. Now, because we're cooking our chicken thighs another way, we don't have as much chicken going in here today. Ordinarily, with the traditional chicken stock, this is where you cook your chicken thighs. Now, this is where I roasted a chicken. Yes, I saved that too. Put that in there. That's going to add all kinds of goodness. Whew, doggy, this is already smelling good. You know, I had a friend tell me her daughter, wee little thing, she started watching the videos and she started saying, woo, doggy. So now it's a catchphrase. Now we're going to start adding this chicken broth. Notice, unsalted. I haven't put any salt in this at all. Why? because this is an ingredient. Down the line with other dishes, so you're making a soup, or like we are, chicken and dumplings, some of the stuff you can put in can add to the salt content. Those chicken thighs, those have been brining in salt water, so that could affect our salt content, make it too salty if we put salt in here. So no salt whatsoever. And now we've got 32 ounce and we've got 6 of these open. Let's see if that's going to be enough. So we want it completely submerged. It's not quite there. So we're going to add just a little bit of water. There we go. That's looking good. Let's just give it a... Oh yeah, that's going to be all right. Because as it boils, that carcass is going to break down and it's going to fall all to pieces. So maybe we didn't need to add that much water at all. Your results may vary. All right, so now we're cranking the heat up to high. We're going to bring it to a boil. And once it's boiling, we're going to turn the heat down way low. And then we're going to let it percolate for about 5 or 6 hours. Let all those flavors mingle together, making just some awesomeness. And well, I'll see you afterwards. So it's finally cooled off, and now it's time to strain it. All right, so I've got a strainer and a large bowl here, and we're gonna start like this. Now, that's just the first stage of draining. Now, everything in here is just going into the trash. The second step, we're going to use this strainer here because, as you can see, there's all sorts of herbs and vegetable bits. I'm going to do it again into our primary storage container, which, oddly enough, is just an old Folgers can. Okay, so after draining and straining multiple times, I got 4 big old 1-pound cans of Folger coffee cans of broth. Now, I'm going to put all this into the fridge tonight, let it cool. That's very important. The reason why you want to do that is overnight, all the fat from the chicken will separate out and it'll float to the surface and it'll get hard overnight. You can remove that. You don't want that chicken fat in anything you're cooking, be it soup or chicken and dumplings in this case. Now, I gotta go clean this kitchen. Now it's cooled off, we're gonna add all of our chicken in. I've got, count them, 20 chicken thighs. We're going to throw in this brine. Now, you can see I've already pulled the skin off, and you want to take the skin off and as much fat as you can. For chicken and dumplings, the worst thing in the world is to bite into a piece of chicken thinking you're getting chicken and you get a nasty old rubbery piece of skin. You don't want that. No skins. But you can save them and use them for chicken stock later on. So let's go ahead and get these in here. All right, so we're outside now. It's a little bit chilly today. And we're going to throw this chicken on this trusty old Pit Boss smoker. Oh, this just looks good. Now what's that, you're asking? What is that big old piece of meat right there? you want to know what that is, well, that's a beautiful chicken breast. It's going to be for a little bit older video that you should have watched by now. How to get rid of your turkey leftovers. This is how we're getting it started. But now we focus on these chicken thighs. We're going to go ahead, throw them on the grill. I've got this pit boss set for $225, and it'll go up and down a little bit. It's a pretty darn good smoker if you're into smoking. Now, like I said, you just don't have to smoke it. You can roast these. If you want to, you can go the traditional method, where when you make your chicken stock, you boil it in the chicken stock, and then you separate out all this meat from the chicken stock. But that's a lot of work, and I think this is just going to be better. Now, as you can see, I've got all 20 thighs on and my bonus chicken breast. And one of the problems you run into with smokers is that you get uneven cooking. So we need to spread out our monitoring. We're going to put one of them right here at this end. We don't want to go through. Make sure you don't go through. Let's take a look. Did we go through? Nah, that's perfect. Perfect. I'm going to put another one on this one at this end. And you want to be right up near the bone. Don't go all the way through. Now, this pit boss is really neat. It's got built-in temperature probes with it. So, we're going to have two more. So, I'm going to put one a little closer to the center here. Now, these two don't have an alarm on it. But we can monitor, and we'll know what's happening all the way across our cook. So now we wait. All right, so we've got some of these are starting to get ready, oddly enough, in the middle. Now, as you can see, I've come back and I've flipped them a bit. So we're going to start checking. I got this little handheld thermometer here. I'm going to get down there next to that bone. No, not there yet. How about you? You ready? Oh yeah, you're ready. You're ready. We'll take you off there. We're going to start taking some of these off as they reach temperature. Some we're going to have to leave on a bit longer. We'll just have to see. Oh yeah. Now that our chicken thighs are ready, we got to get them into our chicken and dumplings. First, we got to take them off the bone, because we don't want to put them in with the bone and the cartilage and all that. So we got to separate all that out. And with the magic of video editing, and just like that, it's shredded, ready to go in your chicken and dumplings. Now, be sure you save those bones, because you're probably going to make chicken stock again. And those bones haven't been smoked, and it's just going to be awesome for the next time you got to make chicken stock. Now, you may be saying to yourself, I can't do this. There's no way I can do it. I don't have a smoker. Don't worry about it. You don't have to make it like this. The traditional way of doing this is boiling it to make chicken stock, and then you separate the meat when you pour out your stock into your storage containers, which is a lot of work. This is way easier, way cleaner. So we're this close to putting it all together. And pretty much the dumplings, all you need, you see right here. So we're going to start by just throwing some flour on the table. We got all-purpose flour. We don't want self-rising. And yeah, on the table. spread it out because we're going to have to roll this out. All right, so how much flour do you use? About that much. So we're going to throw in a stick of butter here. This has been getting softened up. We just want to start mixing that in by hand. Now we want to start adding a little bit of ice water. Has to be ice water, or my mother, who's sitting over my shoulder, will get very angry with me. Just a little bit, just to get things started. All right, so now we're going to take this. You see about how thick it is? That's about where you want it. Kind of a, not quite Play-Doh, but gooey and sticky. And just drop that right in the middle. Now, keep it from sticking to your rolling pin that I stole from my mama. Flour it up a little bit. Throw a little bit more flour on there. And we're just going to start rolling this out. I may have to do some more. Surprisingly, I think I got the consistency right the first time. All right. Now, yeah, a pizza cutter. This is the best way to do it. Gee, run it through there. And cut you some strips, just like these. And if you get a little pieces like this that you may not be happy with in your dumplings, set them to the side. Go in with the next batch. Okay, now we're finally putting it all together. Grab a few of these and drop them in. Oh, not like that. Gently, not like I just did. Our chicken stock boiled and then brought down to a little bit of a simmer. And as we go, we're also going to add in our chicken. So we're going to have just a little bit of both, and we're going to have something good. Now, I'm actually trying this the day after Thanksgiving. It was so crazy yesterday that I just didn't get a chance to shoot the video. But you know what? The day after, it's even better. You could just take a look in here, how thick it's gotten. So this gravy was a little bit thinner, but it's thicker today. This dumpling, using that butter, you can taste the butter. Even better the next day. Like I said, you could taste that butter. If you just use Crisco, yeah, you'd taste Crisco, but the butter makes it better. I hope you try this for the holidays, and I'll see you next week. You forgot to like, comment, and subscribe, didn't you? You should go do that now. We've got to get back to editing.